let's say at the moment of the Big Bang, creation was complete. The one infinite creator, that one infinite source, decided to express itself, to explore itself, to experience itself, to get to know itself through an infinite number of new ways, new angles, new approaches, new journeys, new illusions, because it wants to learn about itself. It wants to explore its potential. It wants to give a voice to infinity. And how do you do that? Through infinite possible illusions. So reality expresses itself through illusion. Doesn't mean it's not relevant because it chose to produce illusion. So there must be relevance and validity to it. It just means it's not real. Doesn't mean it's not valid or relevant. Very different. It's just not what it seems to be. So this is you. This is God. And now there's the Big Bang. And out of infinite infinity, all that could ever be, every possible configuration of what we perhaps would call electromagnetic configurations or subatomic particles and so forth, which is also illusory in the end. But every configuration of what's possible now exists because it's timeless. There's no time. There is change, there's learning, there's growth, there's relationship, there's evolution. But structurally speaking, all the buildings, all the blocks in the building already exist. So if we then bring this down to a more personal level, so your individuated life. So here you are incarnate on earth as a person, as a being. And let's say that currently you are projecting your consciousness to be here. So this is, right now you're listening to me, for instance, right? On this talk. So this is you listening to me. This is your present experience. Because your consciousness, your formless self, your formless consciousness is projecting itself into this particular space-time focal point, you're going to have this experience now. However, from your true self's point of view, and so forth, you get the point. So if you were to project yourself here, you would actually be aware of a different timeline, a different frame, a different parallel picture that coexists to this one. So this is where the idea of parallel realities comes in. That actually, since this universe is timeless structurally, since time has never been discovered to exist, it's a complete agreement, an illusion. All these things that already exist, all possibilities, all possible manifestations already exist. It's just that they're not, you could say, alive. But in this infinite potential, everything already exists, meaning you cannot do anything with your physical consciousness to create anything new. You cannot, and it's similar actually to, on a very physical level, like there's nothing we can create that doesn't already exist. We need to use the substances of Earth in order to build a house, in order to build a car, in order to build whatever it is, a shopping mall, an airport, clothing. So even Coca-Cola is made of the things found on Earth, right? So all components, it's a bit of a flawed analogy, but to some degree it works, that you cannot create anything new. You can make new relationships, but everything that we see around us already existed. It's just been manipulated in different ways. Relationships have been created in different ways between those components to generate something that appears to be new. If we take this to a more absolute level, then literally every configuration of anything you've ever done, ever will do, ever could do, already exists. And your imagination is your tool to connect to that. Imagination is not just you in this real reality daydreaming about things that don't exist. No, imagination is, let's say you're daydreaming. So you're sitting here in this classroom and you're listening to me, but you're not really. Maybe you're a little tired or sleepy or you're distracted. And you start daydreaming. What's actually happening is your consciousness is contacting some other parallel reality. But all stations coexist. Just because you tune into one doesn't mean the other stations cease to be. If you tune into another one, then you're becoming aware of that one. That becomes your audible reality in the vehicle, in the car. But it doesn't mean the others stop existing.